Well, good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Tarochione with Designer Dick. We're here to, Michael Yergin is going to be on in just a minute, so we're going to wait for him. Just going to wait now. Hello, hello. We're just waiting. You know, boy, it was a really, really difficult week last week, wasn't it? With all the sexual harassment and everything that was going on. My goodness. My goodness. Okay, Michael's coming on now. Okay, there he is.
How are you?
Good morning, Misha.
Morning, Kathy. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I was just saying that my goodness, it was really unusual last week with all of the things that went on with the sexual harassment. I'm absolutely, I'm shocked. How
You're
about
beside
you?
yourself. You're aghast. I can tell. I think, Kathy, this is only the beginning. And I think what's going to happen is more and more, you're going to see every day, every week, more things coming out from current things going on to years ago. And one of the things that we're so careful of is that we don't want this to become so commonplace where people, they get sexual harassment diarrhea. Because after like 3 months, people could say, oh my God, I don't even want to watch it anymore.
Yeah, I've
And
had enough of this. Yeah.
right, that's part of the reason why Designer Dick is keeping the humor going, okay? Because we want people to be conscious of this, not, like where it's dragging them down and they're becoming depressed every minute, okay? We're not saying they should be happy because of it, but we want to keep the awareness going so we can finally end and stop once and for all sexual harassment. Yay,
Yes.
design.
Well, let's share with the folks that this week we made some changes on the website
Yes, we
because of
did.
the,
Why
and
don't you share?
and those changes were very beneficial because we were having people that were looking at Designer Dick like they were shocked and it was disgusting, and we needed to set the record straight. So you came up with a perfect way to do that. You want to share that?
Well, yeah, it was actually one of my friends, very high-powered woman, and she saw it and she said, Michael, I'm really offended by this. I mean, waving around a picture of a dick and this
Yeah.
and that, very disingenuous. I don't see how this is helping. She says, it almost seems like you're kind of sexually harassing me. And I was crushed. I was like, oh my God, how could you
Yeah.
possibly think that? But yet people think what they think. So now when you go on the site, we say warning. What you may see may upset you. And we go on to explain that people have been upset seeing the little logo of our cute little penis. I think we can say that word. Our little
Yeah.
designer used to look like the people think. We told people how Planters Peanuts was suing us because they thought we were taking his logo. But people were even offended by the word dick. Some people
Yeah.
were even offended by the word designer. Kathy, as you know, because you're the genius behind this, that was by design. We wanted to get people's attention.
Yes.
We wanted to shock people. We wanted to make sure they were listening and paying attention. And we have done that. And I haven't even told you this, kind of some exciting news. We just had, actually last night, or I don't know what time it was in that country, but we have people now in different countries, in France, in Switzerland, even in China, parts of China, that are looking for Chinese versions of Designer Dick. So Designer Dick, the name of the company is Designer Dick International. It truly is becoming international. And I'm not talking about going to International House of Pancakes and looking at your design. I mean, it really is, because this is a worldwide problem. I mean, it really is, and it's been
It
going
is.
for so long, and it's enough already. It's just enough. People are tired of it. It's enough.
Okay, so do you mind if I elaborate a little bit on what the designer dick logo really is and what it was
Hey,
designed to be so that people can have an understanding.
you must be
That
a mind reader because I was just going to ask you to elaborate on what design is so they
well, that logo was designed like I told you last week. It was designed with three women, myself and two other executives that had been sexually harassed and were tired of guys not having an educated dick. It was just that simple, and it was in the original website 25 years ago was designed to be funny. The reason that we made it designer dick is because we thought, well, if the dick is very smart, then it's going to want to dress nice. It's going to want to be politically correct, want to be emotionally correct, and do things that they normally wouldn't do before they got a brain. So we created designer dick with the idea of as long as they were educated and they got a degree in dickology, then they'd be able to teach other dicks how to act properly in front of the ladies and or their partners for that matter. And we intended for it to not look risque, and it doesn't really look risque when you look at the logo, but it has that symbol. So eventually we had thought about, well, we'll have a talking dick and then we'll have dick talks. And the dick will end up being, designer dick will end up being educating people about safe sex and sexual harassment and how to act. But the design of it, if you really look at it, he's got a little monocle and he's got a top hat on. He's got a tuxedo outfit on.
Oh,
He's
he's cute. He's cute as all get out. Come on. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, and he's meant to be cute. So if people can get past the fact that it's a dick and look at what we're really saying is, let's laugh about this. We're giving the dicks a brain. With the brain, they will then end up being able to act appropriately. Because if we really think about it, ladies and men, we have identified that dicks just don't have too many brains. And the joke here is that it's a system that we've designed because others haven't worked. Humor is our way of communicating about this sexual assault. Believe me, we totally agree that this is a very serious subject, and we
right.
don't mean to degrade anybody that has been sexually assaulted
Oh,
or
God,
harassed.
that's the last
But
thing.
well, but we don't want them to come and say, well, but I've been harassed and it's a terrible thing. We're talking about people in the future that may be harassed, not ones that have been harassed in the
Right.
past.
Even Kathy, not to interrupt you, and I do all the time, so I won't
That's okay.
apologize.
Go ahead.
You put up with me. But now I forgot what I was going to say by giving that little apology to you. See, that's why I just, um, sheesh. It's so hard when you're getting close to 100, to try and keep thinking straight all the time and not to
Yeah.
get put on the track. But so much of it has to do with we're using humor as a way to outsmart a very serious problem because thinking in the box
Yes.
is not going to work. And really, what we're talking about, the bottom line underneath all of this, is really about people being nicer to people, treating people with respect. And this goes back to thousands of years ago to Zen and Buddha, and to really live an enlightened, spiritual life, living in the now, people need to be in harmony with themselves first, and then they need to be in harmony with the rest of the world. And it's always been that men and women, I believe, I'm kind of old fashioned, are meant to be together. And the rules on how to be together, there's never really been a book written. There's no manual. It's like, how do you act as a man? How do you act as a woman? People have been confused. I hear men say, oh, well, come on, women, they dress sexy and they look pretty and they bring it on themselves. That's ridiculous. Women are beautiful. I love women. They're supposed to look pretty. they're supposed to look beautiful. But that doesn't mean, I mean, if you're walking by a store and you see a nice something in the store that's beautiful, you don't break the window and take it. There's appropriate ways to do it. And unfortunately, as you said, this is an education thing, not only for the future, but right now. Because we were doing, as you know, we have a junior, it's called Junior DD. We don't even use the word designer dick. It's very similar to what Facebook is doing now with 6 to 7, 8 year olds. So we can start experimenting with people when they're very young to keep them on the right track. And it's very important for kids because once they get past 5, 6 years old, 80% of all of the way they're going to develop and their thoughts have already been determined. Why do you think McDonald's spends so much money advertising with Ronald McDonald and hitting the kids market? Because they know these kids are going to grow up into adults. So we're trying from not only with little people who don't even think about sexuality to start making a change. And for people who have been unfortunate victims of sexual harassment, we offer counseling through Project Empathy. We have top psychiatrists, top people to help listen to people, to help them go through their problems. So we're not just, and we're going to soon be a 501(c)(3) nonprofit. We're not doing this to make money. Okay, we're doing it to make the world a better place, and everyone should be involved because it's more than just sexuality. It's manners, it's common sense, and it gets to people being happy.
Yeah.
And people need to be happy. Now,
Well,
you're going to say something?
I want to add that
please.
The women now today, God bless them, they're coming forth, and some of them have had sexual harassment from 10, 15, 20 years ago, and they're finally getting a voice, and they're feeling that they are empowered. And I am delighted that they are able to do this. I think that where we are at right now with Designer Dick is we're empowering these women as long as they're coming forward now, and as long as they're talking about what has happened to them and tell their stories. We're empowering women in the future. If they're being harassed, they have a choice. They can say no, they can put up their hand, they can fight a battle, they can try and talk their way out of it, or they can use humor. And these Designer Dick is a choice that they can use as a defense mechanism.
And Kathy, realize too, and I'm sorry for interrupting you a second time, but it'll be gone for the rest of
It's okay.
Why you put up with me. But it's also, we are starting a Designer Dick Fund. As you know, it was your idea. And basically what this is going to be for, since we are a nonprofit, if someone, and it's real easy to say, well, just say no. And I have women say to me, rightly so, Michael, it's not that easy. I've worked 20 years for this job, and and I know lawyers, and I know people that go, I would be out. I would be ostracized. My career, everything I've worked for would be over. And it's very hard, to be a pioneer and go against the norm, especially when you're at risk of losing everything financially, socially, economically. So we're starting a fund. So if someone says, wow, I just am afraid to do this because I'll get fired, you know what? We'll have a fund that will help pay the loss of salary. We'll have a fund and lawyers to help sue. And no one ever really wins by suing, but if it's necessary, you don't want to be a woman or man, anyone that's going against a billion-dollar corporation that has unlimited money and unlimited lawyers, because realistically, it's kind of like what's happened in the Senate. You have to file a complaint, and then you're sequestered for 90 days. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're supposed to go to counseling. That's bullshit, excuse my French, okay? We want that over. So more than just action and words and cute little pictures of penises smiling and little things, we're backing it up with doing stuff and money.
That's right.
People, and that's what it's all about. So we will become a force for good, to fight evil. And we're trying to get Superman and all these people to kind of help us. And
Super
that
Dick.
I came, right. And I came to the defense of Mickey Mouse last week. I thought it was just terrible. that people were accusing him of saying that Minnie Mouse was being sexually harassed by Minnie. You know, I never liked Minnie a whole lot, but as I said in a little video,
Yeah, yeah,
Mickey did anything goofy. I got some questions about some of the people on Sesame Street, you know, like Cookie Monster. We know he
yeah,
was
yeah.
drugs. Could have been a rare moment, you know, harassment.
That's right. Well, one of the things that I'm really shocked about is that I'm seeing all of these celebrities and politicians and um, news anchors and journalists all being exposed. And I don't see where the big companies are behind them anymore because this is just too big. It's too big of a deal. And it's been so many years that women have had to contend with this kind of behavior. And men too, men get harassed as well from female
Right, but
executives.
it's more women, and it's been going on for forever and ever and ever. And ultimately, one of the underlying things about it, it's not even the sexuality, it's power. People who make a
Yes.
lot of money, and I want to, because I have a lot of friends that make a lot of money, and I don't, don't take this the wrong way. But, I don't believe money is the root of all evil. But life is not cheap. Money is a good thing to have. But people who have power tend to become a little arrogant, iconoclastic. They think, I think it was Confucius who said, "Oh, they think their shit doesn't stink." I mean, I shouldn't have said that. Are
That's
we allowed?
okay. You can say
Okay.
penis, you can say shit.
Okay, well, I'm thinking of the George Carlin 5 words you can't say. I guess, but a lot of it has to do with power, and it's really people, trying to be bigger than they are, and it's kind of endemic with men. Typically, when women sit and they talk, because women are three-dimensional, they talk about how are you and their girlfriends and the things going on. Men sit there and they beat their chest and they talk about the size of their car and the size of their bank
Yeah.
account, and mine's bigger
And
than you.
their conquest. I mean, come
Yeah,
on now,
and
Michael. You're a man. Let's face it. You know that these guys, these. I mean, I don't want to pick Matt Lauer, but they knew, his friends knew what was going on. He's in the golf course. He's talking about what's going on, and the guys are all talking about their conquest, the Bad Boy Club, I think it was called. This is nothing new. So it was something that was put under the rug so that nobody would notice it or talk about it, or it was a hush hush right away. Well, now
right,
there's too many people
and,
coming
and
forward, but this is not an unknown thing or
right,
oops, it just
and
happened.
there's a fine line between humor and between being gross. Does this mean that men and or women are not going to make comments or things that may be considered amongst themselves a little risque? Okay, I mean that's we're not trying to make everyone to go to church and turn off your TVs and become Mormons and live in the desert and contemplate their navel and only go
Yeah.
That's not the world, okay? But there is a way for people to finally say, hey, you know what? It's time to treat people better. And for men, it's basically it's a redistribution, not of power, but of happiness. And happiness is the one currency that is limitless. You can always
Yeah.
give. And one of my dear friends who I lost a couple of years ago, as you know, who I worked with for so many years, Dr. Wayne Dyer, he always used to say, geez, we said a lot of things, but he talked about people that were attractors. And an attractor is someone that just, they're vibrating at a higher level. Jesus Christ vibrated at one of the highest levels. Mahatma Gandhi, your friend Mother Teresa. There's certain people that you meet and you go, wow, there's something radiant about them. They're giving off a glow. There's something attracting me to being around them. What we want to do is we don't want people to walk around feeling shamed. I mean, if they're guilty, they should be, but we want people to be happy. We want people to spread positive vibes and
Yes.
positive karma. And you certainly can't do that by denigrating or harassing or trying to pull the power, the power card or anything on women or anyone else. And it has to do with bullying, We're dealing with that, with the bullying that goes on with young people. You know what? We try and tackle it now in counseling sessions that I do. I mean, I have kids that are 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 years old who I work with every week. And it's all issues about self-esteem and about, they're trying to fit in and this and that. And it's shocking because if you look at some of the videos on Designer Dick, one in particular where the lady is talking about, she says her kid came home and she went on a first date and the mother was like very excited. Well, tell me what he was like. Yeah, Mom, he wasn't that great. Oh, okay. The mom was kind of relieved because the girl was only, a young girl. She didn't want her daughter to get in a relationship. And so her mother says, well, give him a kiss or anything? And then the girl goes, no, I didn't give him a kiss, but I gave him a blowjob. And the mother like fell off
Yeah,
because that's considered a common thing. And when I heard this after you showed me the video, Kathy, I asked a lot of the kids who I do counseling with, I said, let me ask you a question. And this may sound gross, but it's not. There's a whole thing about people shaving their pubic hair, that everyone shaves their pubic hair, especially when they're very young. Where do you think they learned that from? I was kind of like, I
yeah,
don't know where they learned that from. They learned that because little kids are watching pornos because of the internet. So no wonder
that's
people
right.
are screwed up when it
And
comes to.
the sad thing is that they do believe that they won't get a sexually transmitted disease unless it's through intercourse. They don't
And
realize that they can get that from oral sex and everything. And
right,
that's the sad part, because
well,
these young kids that are
right.
getting these diseases, oh geez.
But more serious than the diseases, girls in particular feel that unless they, put out, as we used to say when
Yep,
I was,
right.
and it's true, they're
They're not going to be
unpopular. They're,
popular.
they're castigated. Even their other girl friends, friends that are girls say, well, if you don't do that, you're not popular. What a sick, terrible peer pressure feeling to have to
Mhm.
go through. So Designer Dick, and I would really appreciate, I know you too, you would too. People say, okay, well, how can I volunteer? How can I help? We say
Right.
the first thing is join Designer Dick because there are so many people, thankfully, that want to help solve this problem and other problems because it's kind of like dominoes. You start solving one
That's
problem and all of a sudden your awareness raises and you're solving other problems. Well, unfortunately, I mean, we have thousands of people every day signing up. We can't talk to every person, but once they sign up, then we can start putting together mini groups and having, like we do with
right.
Project, where we have meetings in churches and we have counseling sessions and we have volunteers who then become like team leaders. So we're looking for the same thing for Designer Dick. This is going to be, well, it already is. This is probably, I mean, every guy has and every woman at some point or another could be the subject of. So we're doing preventative medicine,
Yeah.
current medicine, and futuristic medicine.
Right, right. And the other thing they can do to help is talk about it. If they know somebody that's been sexually harassed or isn't practicing safe sex, or we call it smart sex,
Right?
to let them know so that they can come to the website and they can do things that they normally wouldn't do in a humorous manner. And don't get us wrong, we definitely are not only humorous, we're very serious. We have testing kits, we have places where people can go to and have the resources available to them on an anonymous basis to be tested.
Right. This is not about yuck, 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 laughing, laughing, laughing. It's about making people go into themselves and come away with a higher consciousness. When
Yes.
you're living in the present and you're in a higher consciousness and you're thinking, oh my God, what a beautiful world. How, I mean, I wake up as you probably do too, Kathy, at my age. People say to me, so how was your day? I go,
Glad I woke up.
good one. Okay. They go, oh, there's Michael. He's, one person said to me yesterday at the health club, they go, that guy, he's always smiling. He's always happy.
Yeah,
He's always laughing.
I
Even when
get
he's
the
in the
same
swimming
thing.
pool singing, even when he's in the swimming pool, he's singing. And this other person, I was very proud of this little lifeguard girl. She's like 16. She says, yeah, he's really a happy, cool guy. What's your problem? Okay, so there are people that, and you know this, if they see someone really happy, they go, I wonder what drug he's on, or what's the matter with him?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's jealousy. And the thing is, people shouldn't be jealous. Everybody should be happy. That
Yeah.
was the universe didn't think, okay, now how are we going to make people unhappy? You know, whoever's up there, it didn't happen that way. We don't know
Yeah.
how it happened.
Right.
And that pretends they know how it happens full of shit. But we do know. And when you sit out there and you look at the stars and you look at the moon, you think we're just one of millions of galaxies and stuff. I don't know. Maybe there's sexual harassment and other higher thinking, communities out there. I'm not talking about aliens. I don't know what's out there.
Yeah.
Those, all we can do is deal with what we know right now and try and
Exactly. Exactly. And we chose to go the serious humor route. So it's kind of an oxymoron, but it's the humor in Designer Dick. Sometimes humor can be carried a long way. Many people in uncomfortable situations find themselves laughing or thinking of something humorous to say because they don't know what else to do or to say. This is an avenue, so this is a tool for them.
Well, and it's
What's the name of your dick or we talked about that before.
yeah. And even it's used in religions. I know people used to come knock on my door. And I think Jesus was a pretty cool guy. I mean, after all, he was a Jew that started a great holiday that's coming up, okay? And people would come knock on my door, and they'd be very serious. And they go, this would be on a Sunday morning, I'm just waking up. They knock on my door, and they're all stoked looking. They go, you have sinned, and you need to repent. And I'm going, well, I know I ate too much pizza last night, but I mean, I don't feel that bad. And then I kind of gave them some advice to people that would come knock on doors, and they go, hey, guess what? There's a birthday party coming up and you're invited. And I'm so stupid. I'm going, oh, yeah, cool. When? What should I bring? And they talk to me, well, can we come in your house? I go, well, just tell me where the party is, and what time and what should I wear? Well, no, it's a party for Jesus. And I'm going, oh, at least they got my attention because they're getting in the door.
Right.
Eating me up with. And the same thing, if you say to someone, you better not sexually harass me, guys, because a lot of them tend to be putzes, that's a Chinese word, they're going to go like, how dare you? You can't tell me what to do. I have more money than you, and how dare you? If people are approached in a way that doesn't make them feel insecure or challenge them, and again, when I started to say about Wayne Dyer, he did a great study, and he did a study showing that when someone performs a good deed, not only does that person feel better, but the amazing thing, the person who performed a good deed feels better, the person who's the recipient of the good deed feels better, but most amazing, people observing someone helping someone else, their endorphins raise, they feel better. So we're all connected. It's a very cosmic thing.
That's right.
And people are
now I'm interrupting you, but I'm going to lose my train of thought. I'm thinking to myself, what we're doing is we're breaking the cycle. There's a cycle that's going on where men, I believe that they feel that it's what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
To harass women and put them in an uncomfortable situation in terms of them being able to have power. So they have to be able to carry this status quo. And now we're going to break the cycle. And It can be broken with humor.
And great point, Kathy, because I think there's a duality in there. I think it goes the other way too with men. A lot of them are very insecure. I mean, there's guys that stand around and go, God, I'd really like to go up and talk to her, but she's out of my league, or what am I going to say? And I have a pimple, or I'm 5 pounds over.
Well, usually they're talking about some part of her body that they like.
Right.
That's the real truth. That's the real truth.
Be rejected. So guys don't have a lot of experience of just going up to a woman and saying, hi, God, you're really pretty. I don't mean that to offend you. And sometimes, with all due respect to women, she could be very pretty, and then as soon as she opens her mouth, she's got a voice like Minnie, and you go, So it's everything isn't always
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
most things are illusions anyway. And I'm a big Zen Buddhist, and I'm always meditating 2-3 hours a day. That's because I just think we don't know so much. So
Yeah.
what we can do is try and be comfortable in our own skin. And I try and surround myself with beautiful people like you that are comfortable in their own skin, that live life at ease. And when you're living life at ease and you're being good and you're not ripping people off and you're being kind and you're helping other people, you're happier. And when you're happier, you don't do stupid things because it's offensive and it's rude. And if people could just get to a higher consciousness, which it's not about reading books. People say to me, well, Michael, what book should I read and what do I do? And when I do seminars, I go, there's nothing I can teach you. And it's a famous little
Mhm.
story with, I'm not going to steal it. It was from Eckhart Tolle, and he's talking about there's an old man and he's a beggar and he's sitting on a cardboard box, and as people walk by, he says, do you have $1? Do you have $1? Do you have $1? One man walks by and says, no, sir, I don't have $1. I cannot help you. There's nothing I can do for you. But have you ever looked inside the box you're sitting in? And the old beggar said, what do you mean, have I ever looked inside this box? I've been sitting on this box for 30 years. Why would I look inside this box? The analogy is because it's always has to do with it's inside you. So the beggar looks inside the box and it's filled with gold. For 30 years, he's been sitting there on this box begging for $1, and the box is filled with gold. When people come to me and they go, Michael, what's the solution? How can I be happier? What can you teach me? I go, I can teach you nothing. You already know it. But as Buckminster Fuller, one of my dear friends and teachers when I went to college, he used to say, living be geniuses, people. Everyone is born a genius, but the more you live, the more you kind of get, as we say in Yiddish, foshnoshki. You get a little screwed up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so getting back to, and a lot of people go, oh, here he goes again. He's going to say and meditate. And well, you know what? So it's always about taking a deep breath. And I told you about the
And
dog.
living in the moment. Yeah. Just live
Living
in the
in the
moment.
living in the
Be
moment.
happy and at peace.
Yeah, and everyone just went through a Thanksgiving holiday, and one of my favorite guys, who I'm so blessed to be a friend of, and I see him occasionally, is Dr. Richard Alpert, who used to be a teacher at Harvard, along with a bunch of other guys who became Baba Ramdas when he was Maharishi in India, where you were with Mother Teresa, and it's about enlightenment. It's about realizing that you don't have to be mean, you don't have to bully people, you don't have to use your power over people, because there's a force which is greater than power. And force means you got to go against something, you got to struggle against something. Power is your inner power to just smile and be grateful, and especially for this whole sexual harassment thing. If
Yeah.
you see someone doing
Yeah.
something, say, hey, cut it out. Well, people don't know how to do it. That's why we've designed the designer dick cards that says, hey, maybe you don't know you're being
Yeah.
inappropriate. So they'll think about it, okay? And it's kind of like the old saying, great advertising guy, Leo Burnett used to say, repetition makes recognition. Any change that happens usually takes 21 days before it starts to set in. So don't think you're going to become a member of Designer Dick and all of a sudden the world is going to change in a minute. It
Right.
has to
Right.
do with
And
Kaizen.
we can't change what happened in the past. We can only look to what's going to happen in the future. And if it's at this moment, if you have a moment today where you're going to be sexually harassed, what tools do you have available to you to help you through it? And if you
Yeah,
really ask yourself that question and you have nothing, then you are exposing yourself to sexual harassment continuously. So stop the cycle, use
right.
designer Dick,
Yeah,
become a member.
right. And you're also subjecting yourself to human harassment. There's
Right.
people that just get. I see people going in to buy a cup of coffee and they're screaming at the what do you call them, the barista, the people that serve the coffee. I wanted extra. And it's a little girl. She's 16 years old, and she starts
Yeah,
crying.
right. Yeah.
I, I was in a
Well, I don't think
Denny's.
we want a 16-year-old to hand a designer dick card to a customer.
Boy, Kathy, see, I
But
was in.
the idea, the analogy is there. Yeah, I
But
get you.
just again, I know it sounds like a broken record, but it's people being nicer to each other. I was in a Denny's, and there was a new waitress there. And there were three guys, and they're down here in Scottsdale, and they're beating their chest and talking about their golf and the beautiful condo, and they rented a Maserati, and they probably work at McDonald's back where they came from. But this poor waitress, it was her first day, and they just kept, my eggs are burnt, and you didn't give me enough ice in my water. And the girl started crying. I got up, I
Uh,
went over to three guys, and I said, hey, you guys, shut the, I can't tell you exactly what I said, but I said, be quiet. And they go, whoa, what are you, the manager at Denny's? I said, no. I said, but you're really acting like dickheads. And they said, what are you going to do about it? I said, well, me, I'm kind of nonviolent, but I'll go find three big guys, bigger than you. I said, and make you apologize to this girl. And the girl, I gave her a couple of dollars tips, and she gave me a big hug. She said, oh, you're so sweet. They were, I was going to quit. And I'm thinking, and I said to these guys, you feel better now? You feel
yeah,
good?
right.
Made someone feel bad? That's people who are real don't want to do that.
That's right. That's right. Well, I think that's about it for today, Misha. What do you think?
Hey, you're the
Hey,
boss, kid.
listen, by the way, we should let everybody know that these sessions are totally unrehearsed. They are
I think
unbiased.
I think people,
We're totally impromptu. We don't have any script. We don't have anything. It's just what we feel has happened, especially in the last week or so. We're going to have another one on Thursday. Tuesdays and Thursdays is when we'll be doing these.
well, and
And
Kathy, we'll keep in the bag that, and you and me both know, we've been talking to some people, and we're talking about the DDTV network, which would be
yeah,
a 24-hour network that's a worldwide thing, and it's so exciting, and we've got so many people and so many great companies volunteering different things that it's just mind-boggling.
yeah, yeah.
So much.
We've had some great response. And again, for those of you that feel that you've been that designer Dick has offended you in any way, we sincerely apologize. That is not our intention. We'd like for you to take another look at it from a new perspective, which is a fun as well as serious perspective, but an opportunity and a way to use designer Dick as a tool. And
And it's not, and the apology is fine, but we're we're learning from it. I mean, I actually the other day wrote the person, I thanked the person. I said, hey, you know what? At first I thought you just didn't get it and there was something wrong with you. Then I go,
yeah,
wow,
right.
how egotistical of me. And I said, thank you. You know what? I hadn't thought about it that way. That didn't occur to me. So your input
Right.
really helped me. But the one thing I wanted to leave you with that I started, Baba Ramdas, since we all just went through Thanksgiving, he says, you can be the most enlightened, spiritual, at peace, calm person in the world for 20, 30 years. Go to one Thanksgiving dinner with your family, and all of a sudden you get crazy
Yeah.
because something that's going to make you nuts. And it's kind of like what I tell people all the time. They go, Michael, I was doing so good. I went through a whole half a day, and I was happy, and I was calm. And then the stupidest little thing got me
Set
crazy.
you off. Yeah.
Well, as we say, someone pissed in my Cheerios, and it ruined my whole
Yeah.
day. As you get a little older, what happens is instead of hanging with a negative thought for hours or days or weeks or a year, it's a few seconds and you pass it off because you realize it doesn't serve you well. Okay, so with Designer Dick, all we're trying to do is tell people, cut it out. For people that don't know about cutting it out, we're trying to make it so that they'll never even be in that situation because it wouldn't occur to them to be rude.
Right.
So it's a retraining, it's a re-education, it's an enlightenment thing, and it's about changing. If you don't change every day, you're not growing. And I'm not just
That's
talking about
right.
everywhere. It's got to be
And
more important.
what I want to leave everybody with is if you can't talk about designer Dick it comfortably, then you don't get it. And we urge you to continue to keep following us, even though you might not get it yet, you will eventually when you see the people that are having success stories from being part
Yeah,
of our Designer Dig
Kathy,
movement.
give yourself a little more credit, not me so much, because it's mostly you, everything good. But yeah, even the ones that say they don't get it, they get it. But there's other mishigas going on in their life that their
They're
minds,
afraid their friends won't like it, or they're afraid their friends won't approve of it. That's the real bottom line.
or they're afraid that maybe they're going to be a happier person and they're going to have to give up all their
Yeah,
stuff. What are
right.
they going to do?
Yeah,
You know?
right.
Anyway, you better shut me up because
Okay, all right, everyone.
what are you?
Thank you so much. We'll look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Bye bye.
Bye bye.